Welcome to An Awful World, but not awful like you think.
This is the show where we discuss whether we would have discovered important advances in a world exclusively full of Haylies and Libbys. I'm Haylie.
And I'm Libby. And today is Holidays Part 2. Whoop, whoop. Not only is this Part 2, this will be our final episode of the year.
Yes.
And of our season.
Yes. So catch us back for season 2, January 17th.
That's right. Mark your calendars.
That's right.
Mark your Mayan calendar. Mark your Gregorian calendar. That's when we'll be back. And we have some exciting things in the works.
Yes.
So
it'll be really
do
fun.
hope that you'll join us then. But after today, we're just going to take a little brief holiday hiatus.
Right?
Which is why we're talking about the most popular holiday, in my opinion. Christmas. Haylie.
March?
Sorry. Her Grinch is so good. It's almost eerie.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to hear it a lot.
Hate. Me in love with the Grinch? Anyway.
I didn't ask you that.
Haylie, did you know that Christmas is so popular that it's celebrated by over 2 billion people annually?
I didn't know that
number,
but I could have guessed that it was a lot.
It's a lot of people, which is funny because it's technically a Christian holiday.
Yes.
But, it did not start out that way.
No, it did not. I have big feelings about that.
She has big feelings about that. But obviously, like a lot of non-secular is religious. Secular people celebrate Christmas, even in different countries. So I actually read, I thought this was funny. Like in Japan, they celebrate Christmas, and it's their tradition there to eat fried chicken on Christmas.
I love that.
I know. What a fun little thing.
Yeah.
I literally just wrote Japan and fried chicken. Like, hopefully I remember what I meant by that. I did. That's good. So, before we jump into this, let me tell you about this recurring dream that I have.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
I wanted to wait to tell you on a hot mic. So, I have this recurring dream.
Mm-hmm.
I just had one last week, and I was like, I want to tell you, but I can't tell you because then you'll know and whatever. I have this dream that it's Christmas Eve. It's always Christmas Eve. And I am like, oh no. I have done nothing to celebrate or enjoy this holiday season. I put no tree up. I haven't watched any movies. I haven't listened to any music. Nothing. There's been no nothing. It's horrible. It is like, it is a nightmare. It's not even a recurring dream. It's a recurring nightmare that I just missed the whole thing. And this time in this dream that I had last week, I was literally like standing at the kitchen table at my house. And I'm like, and I know this isn't a dream. This is really Christmas Eve, and I've really messed up. Like, and it's so funny because I woke up and I was like, why would I even think that in that dream? Just like, this isn't even a dream, so don't be thinking that, brain. You have really goofed this time. No. So I love Christmas so much. This is a well-known fact about me. I love Christmas. Love it. I love every part of it. The decorating, the celebrating, the parties, the presents, all of it. I love it so much. And it's so funny that I love it so much because I had no idea about its origins.
Well, yeah, because as a Christian, you're just taught
It's Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, the end.
HBD Jesus.
The end.
Yeah. That's not at all how it started.
No.
So it actually started in like Scandinavian countries.
Mm-hmm.
They celebrated what was known as Yule.
Yes, which is where we get the Yule log.
I was just about to say that. I love the Yule log. We always turn the Yule log on Christmas morning and just like, ooh, everyone come sit by the Yule log while we open up presents since we don't have a real fireplace. Anyway, so in Scandinavia, we've got Yule, and it was really to recognize the return of the sun. So I thought this was interesting. Is like that because this makes sense. that in December is the
winter solstice.
Exactly. And the days start to become longer again.
Yes.
Even though they feel really short, they are getting longer.
Yes.
So that's the time of year when most of the cattle is slaughtered. In Scandinavia during that time. So they would have a big feast because they were doing that. So then it kind of, it's there in Scandinavia. And then it kind of morphs into something else in Rome called Saturnalia. And this is like a month of just like normal order in Rome is turned completely on its head. I thought this was fascinating. Another thing that I'm like, okay, Romans, sometimes I'm with you. And sometimes I'm like, the fuck are you doing?
Sometimes I'm really against you, like with Valentine's Day.
Yes, exactly.
Lupercalia.
Exactly.
Also, they like the alia.
They do.
Saturnalia,
Lupercalia. Something
else with an alia.
Yeah, the other ones.
The other stuff.
So during Saturnalia, like enslaved people were given temporary freedom. Businesses and schools were closed. Like literally everything they know about society is just flipped for a whole month.
I'm going to need to back it up really quick.
The enslaved people.
Enslaved people are given temporary freedom. How do they just like get them back?
I have no idea about the logistics of that. It was just like, and for this month, we're going to celebrate you.
They're like, all right, now be back.
Right? Can you imagine like being kidnapped and the person's like, I'm going to let you go.
Right.
But come December 26th, I want you back here. You understand?
I'd be like, yeah.
No, I'm not
never
coming
to
back.
return.
I'll be so far from here, you won't even know it.
That's right.
No, but that, I don't know the logistics of it. But it was just like, everything is just completely different.
That is wild.
It is wild.
Wild. Okay.
So, obviously, in Christian communities, so Rome, after some time, you know, post killing Jesus, which I'm going to make them feel bad for every time.
As they should.
Way to go. So Easter used to be the main holiday because really, we have no idea when Jesus was born. It's not clear in the Bible, but someone made a good point, and I don't remember who it was, so credit to you. Sorry, I can't remember. Why would these shepherds be like out with their sheep in the middle of winter? You know what I mean?
Well, so there's a lot of talk that it's either that he was born in the summer or in like October.
Yeah, so I wrote down that it's more likely that he was born in the spring, they think.
So interesting. So it's still all over the place.
It is. We have no idea.
What I researched, though, was that they moved his birthday to the end of December to line it up with the winter solstice so that they could convert all the pagans.
Yeah.
Because they don't like the pagans.
Pretty much. They're like, now what if we were like, isn't it crazy that Jesus was born on this day?
Yeah. You know what's crazy to me, though, is that it worked.
It did work. It absolutely worked.
It super worked.
Now,
because they took a lot of their celebrations as well.
They did, yeah. And like kind of turned it into their own thing. Now, I think some of why it works so well, again, kind of getting back to our religion episode, is because it used to be such a like, well, look at how good Christianity is, you know?
Yes.
We help people and we're compassionate and we're... So I think that is part of the reason that the pagans were like, okay, this doesn't seem so bad.
But also, they take the Yule and then they also take the Christmas tree and make it their own because that was a pagan tradition.
Yes.
And the tree they brought it in and decorated it for the winter solstice and things like that. And then Christians just took that and they were like, see, we're fun too. Even though I'm pretty sure in the Bible, doesn't it say that like you should not bring a tree into your home or something like that?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's something about that. And then they like do this specifically to like get pagans involved. But then,
interesting.
But then at the same time, eventually they're just like, no, this is the Christmas tree and it's always been.
And now it's okay.
Yes.
And you should never bring a tree into your home because I've seen Christmas Vacation. You know what came out of that tree? A squirrel.
That's right.
And they had to kill it.
Also, we put all these like fire hazards on it. And then we're just like,
it used to be legitimately candles. Candles, Haylie.
I don't understand. We're just like, yay, fire hazards. Yay, Jesus. And I'm like, I really think
the Roman fire marshals are like, this is not up to code.
You know, but maybe they're like, this is excellent for business.
You heard it here first. The Roman fire marshals were the ones that came up with candles on the Christmas tree. I'm just saying. So, yes, you are correct that the church adopted it to absorb the pagan tradition.
Yes.
And that's why they made it 1225. And I wrote down, this worked. By the Middle Ages, like pretty much, this had completely worked.
Yes.
Then let me tell you a little story about how the Puritans stole Christmas.
All right. Tell me.
Rude. So they took over England in 1645 and they were like, Christmas is canceled.
Yeah, I was like, they banned Christmas.
They did.
So how did they?
Which is just kind of funny, you know? So the Puritans obviously are the ones that made their way over to the Americas. They get over here and they're like, we're not doing that over here. We don't celebrate that over here.
Could you imagine, Libby?
No, oh my God. Haylie, they fined people in Boston for a time for celebrating Christmas. You know what I wrote down next to that? Rude. I would have been fined so much money.
You'd been like, fine, take my money, but never take my Christmas.
You can't take my Christmas. You can't steal it because it lives in my heart. Puritans,
that's right.
In my heart. Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? So, the Puritans, they find people for celebrating that. That's in like the 17th century, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is not declared a federal holiday until 1870.
Wow.
1870. Can you imagine? Which is so funny because we think of like an old world Christmas.
Yeah.
And we like make it a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like there's even like a Beauty and the Beast Christmas special, which is hilarious.
That's true. It's very cute.
France. And
well, they have Christmas in France.
I know, but it's like in the 1700s, isn't it? Like,
I don't know.
Isn't Beauty and the Beast set in like provincial? Like there must be more than this provincial life.
Yeah. But also, I feel like Christmas was around. It just wasn't a federal holiday.
It was, but I don't know how like widely celebrated. We'll get into it.
Okay.
So, Santa Claus. Where in the heck did Santa Claus come from?
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas, but
Turkey-A.
Turkey-A.
Which used to just be turkey.
Just used to be turkey, but don't get it twisted. It's Turkey-A now.
That's right.
So, I never knew this, and my mind is blown that I didn't know this. Santa Claus, the first depiction of this St. Nicholas visiting us, giving us, this jolly old man, comes from the Washington Irving, the sketchbook of Jeffrey Crayon, Stories About Christmas. So he sort of like invented the tradition as we know it. It was really just like a book he wrote about celebrating Christmas and describing these parties that never existed.
Interesting.
So he was like, wouldn't it be fun if it was like this and we like got together and we celebrated and it was about peace and community and all this stuff. He just wrote that straight from the heart, baby.
And people loved it.
And it really became like Christmas as we know it. And then A Christmas Carol comes out kind of around the same time. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And that sort of like in England makes it more of a, okay, this is about, giving and peace and all this stuff. And then we make it gift giving to appear as really for more aristocratic people, to appear as though we're not spoiling our children. We're just giving them Christmas gifts because it's what you do on Christmas. And so that's kind of like where the gift giving thing came from.
Interesting.
So Santa, St. Nicholas.
Right.
He was born in 250 AD in Turkey. He was a lovely human. He gave away all of his money. He traveled the world.
He was a bishop for the church.
He was. And truly in that sense of he helped the sick. He helped the poor. He spent his whole life doing that. And he was wealthy and he gave away all his money doing that.
Yeah.
So in the late 18th century, so in the late 1700s, in America, Dutch families who had emigrated to New York began celebrating St. Nicholas by honoring him on the day of his death.
Did you, really quick, read about the story about where they think the stockings came from?
No, tell me.
Okay, so it's St. Nicholas. And they're talking about all his generosity that he's known for and all these things. And apparently where like the stockings on the fireplace and the gifts that way with Santa Claus comes from this story that he saved 3 daughters from being sold into slavery.
Oh my God.
Because their dad didn't have money for a dowry.
Wow.
And so what he did was he threw gold through an open window into their house so that they could have a dowry so that they didn't have to be sold into slavery.
Wow.
And then the myth is that it landed in a sock that was drying on the fireplace.
Whoa.
And so now people leave their stockings out.
What a
for
cool
Santa.
story.
Isn't that cute?
That is cute. I love that.
Yeah.
What a good person,
Right?
that Saint Nicholas. I love that he's the person that we've adopted as sort of the face of Christmas.
Yes.
You know, like he was a legit person.
Yeah.
So he's Saint Nicholas. It kind of coincides, you know, the day of his death kind of coincides around Christmas time. These Dutch families had emigrated from the Netherlands, come here, and they're celebrating, and we're kind of like, that's interesting. And then in 1822, the Nightmare Before Christmas comes out. Tim Burton releases in 1822 his classic, God, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which is not the name of the poem. It's called A Visit from St. Nicholas.
Oh.
He writes, 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house a creature was stirring, not even a mouse, the whole thing. And that is where our depiction of Santa comes from. This jolly man, big, you know, ho, 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 coming down the chimney, all the stuff, the reindeer. That's where it all comes from. This one story. And then in 1881, a political cartoonist of all people draws St. Nicholas. His name was Thomas Nast, and he draws literally the like quintessential like Coca-Cola Santa that we know today.
Yes. Wow.
A political cartoonist. Can you believe?
I can't believe.
I think that is so nuts. Like, what on earth? That is only 150 years old.
Yeah.
That version of Santa. And this is again why I say I am so glad that I was born in the time that I was born, because I love Santa.
Yeah.
I've always loved Santa. I have a collection of mugs.
I know him.
Well, if you're the real Santa, what song did I sing to you on your birthday last year?
Happy birthday, of course.
Dang it. Such a great movie. I have a collection of Santa mugs.
Uh-huh.
Growing up, when Santa would come to my house, of course, I have a sibling. So Santa would leave her gifts wrapped in penguin or other like winter animal wrapping paper.
Cute.
My paper always had Santa on it. That's how I knew it was mine. To this day, Santa still brings me things wrapped in Santa paper. He's that good.
Now, I was told that maybe Santa shops at Target.
This is one of the most like quintessential things that I feel like is said so often in our friendship.
Yes.
I would love for you to explain to the listeners exactly what we're talking about.
So, my mother, if you're listening, I'm very sorry that I'm telling this story, or that I say this all the time, and I don't think you know that, but it is hilarious. So, growing up, I'm an only child, and my mom would pick the wrapping paper that she thought I would like the best. Usually, when I was little, it was Spice Girls wrapping paper.
Now it's just sparkly and pink.
That's right. Not to date myself or anything, but it was Spice Girls wrapping paper.
We've already dated
very
ourselves.
cool.
Oh, we've dated ourselves so much.
So anyway, we would get up on Christmas, and I would say, "How come you and Santa have the same handwriting?" I don't know. Maybe we had the same handwriting teacher. And I would say, "Well, how come you and Santa use the same Spice Girls wrapping paper?" And after I had asked 600 questions at this point, my mom couldn't take it anymore and said, "I don't know, Haylie. Maybe Santa shops at Target."
And now that's just like the explanation of anything when we don't know. We're like, yes. I don't know. Maybe Santa shops at Target.
Exactly. So it is always, if I don't know the answer to a question, it is my response is, "I don't know, Haylie. Maybe Santa shops at Target."
It's the best. It's so funny. Hey, listener, if you're in the Indianapolis area looking for warm photos of you and your loved ones, you're going to want to check out Hey Blondie. Hey Blondie is committed to capturing people from all walks of life through all stages of life, from a new baby to graduation. Check out HeyBlondiePhoto.com for more information and give them a like on Facebook and Instagram at Hey Blondie Photo. So anyway, Christmas. Wow.
It is wild.
It is wild.
It's wild how we got here.
It is wild how we got here. And I think we're going to have sort of a similar take on whether or not there would be Christmas in an awful world.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm not going to lie when I say I question whether I want to live in a world without Christmas.
I know, but we wouldn't know any better.
That is true.
And that would soften the blow.
It would soften the blow because I'll tell you, I think about Christmas all year long.
Yeah.
I want to put my decorations up in like early November, and you
Same.
out there in the world listening, you can criticize me. I don't care. It's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do.
To be fair, celebrate how you want. First of all, it's your house. And second of all, it takes so much time and effort and work.
So you want to enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah. I know people who literally do not put their decorations up until like a week before Christmas and then take them down on the 26th.
That's exhausting.
I think that is the most depressing thing in the world. And it's like people who are like, well, I just want my house to be back to the way it is. I'm like, I get that. But like, there is nothing like sitting on a couch, looking at the Christmas tree and just taking it all in. It's so cozy and wonderful. And the lights and, and the music and everything about it is just fantastic.
And the movies just
they're
spectacular.
So
they're so good.
I mean,
I may not be a Christian, but God, I love those movies.
I know, and you don't have to be.
No.
Because look, it started out as very pagan.
That's right. And so my husband and I, we always just say, we celebrate pagan Christmas. I'm like, I'm here for the cookies. I'm here for Santa. I'm here for that Christmas tree.
A lot of people do.
And I want everything to smell like a peppermint.
I'm shocked. This is something I'm just learning about you for the first time.
Yeah, it's not like you've never been here in the winter when it will punch you in the face.
It will punch you in the face. Your sinuses will be cleared.
That's right.
So, yeah, in an awful world, I think that we're going to have gift-giving holidays.
100%.
I love to give gifts.
Same.
There is nothing like the look on somebody's face when you give them something that they wanted so bad, but especially like one of my favorite things to do, this is a Christmas pro tip, and a birthday pro tip too. If you hear someone talk about something or you are shopping with them and they see something in a store and they don't buy it for themselves.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Make a note.
The number of times I have gone back to get something that somebody pointed out or said something about. And you just cannot put a price on the look on a person's face when they open it and see it.
It's true. And it's just so nice because it could, sometimes it is like, I want this thing, I want this thing, I want this thing.
Right.
And, that's nice then when they're like, yay, I got it. But it's also so nice when it's like, oh my gosh, how did you even know I wanted this thing? And it just clearly shows that like, you know them, you pay attention to them, you're thinking about them. And that's like what I love so much about gift giving.
It's just like a way to express to your love for somebody. Yeah, it's a love language for sure.
Yes, 100%.
And I love getting gifts and opening gifts.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything compares to giving and seeing somebody's face when they open exactly what they wanted. Last year, I almost cried on Christmas because it was my first year with my, really celebrating with my boyfriend. Our anniversary is Christmas Eve.
Which is so cute.
It is cute. It's my favorite time of year for so many reasons now. But obviously, when we first, made it official or whatever the kids say today, on Christmas Eve, we were like, no gifts. Like, this is fresh, whatever. So last year was really our first Christmas involving giving gifts.
Yeah.
And he got me something that I have been wanting for probably 10 years. And every year I say I want it. I want those so bad. And I don't ever buy them for myself. And I don't know why. And it's the moose mugs that they drink out of.
Yes.
In Christmas Vacation. They drink the eggnog out of it. And I love those mugs. And I've wanted them forever. And I can't tell you how many times I've said that. And he got them for me last year. And I literally was so shocked. I could have cried because I was like, I cannot believe you got those for me. Like, I've wanted that for so long. And he's like, I know. You talk about it all the time. And I'm just like, you listen. Like,
Yes.
it's so sweet.
Yeah, it's just so nice.
precious.
And it's like, those moose mugs are not like the most expensive thing in the world.
Gosh, I think they were like $40 for the two of them.
Right. So it's funny that it's just one of those things where, you know, it doesn't need to be the most expensive, but it's just like, she really wants them,
Right.
but she's never going to buy them for
No,
herself.
because it seems silly.
Right.
And it's not like a quantity thing either. It was just like a one gift that cost you $40.
Yeah.
But you have no idea how much that means to me and like what it symbolizes to me. And I think that's what's so special about like that time of year. It's like the feeling. You just I can't describe the feeling of Christmas time other than you're just like all warm and fuzzy inside all the time.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
everything just feels great and everybody's just so much more like peaceful and nice and giving, and
Yeah.
I love it so much. I love it so much. So anyway, I think that gift giving is definitely like one of my love languages, and so it's
100%. Same
totally
here.
Totally something we would have in an awful world.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think we'd have a holiday like that. I don't know that we would ever come up with Santa.
I don't know that we would either, because here's the thing. If you lay out the facts of Santa, you take away St. Nicholas and that whole situation.
It's absurd.
If you're just like, all right, be good all year because this really old fat man is watching you from...
He's gonna come down your chimney.
Yes. And then he's going to break into your house and he's going to give you gifts if you're good, and he's going to give you coal if you're bad, and he's going to put toys and socks that hang over the fireplace.
Yep.
And then he's going to go back and live with all the little people, like
For the rest of the year.
in the winter where it's uninhabitable
Yes.
for the rest of the year. And he flies there on a reindeer. You're like, okay, psycho.
Right. Like, you're a little crazy.
Yeah, I'd be like, are you high?
And now I'm like, I watch the NORAD tracker. I want to know where he's at. I remember being a kid, and distinctly, I was one of Santa's staunchest defenders. I still am. And I don't think I found out until I was in like the 6th grade, which was devastating.
That's
to
rough.
me. So devastating. And it's just like so much later than it should have been. You know, I was probably like 12 years old. Like, still, but it's fine. It's totally fine. But anyway, I remember just being like, well, this is weird. I know a lot of really crappy kids at school, and not one of them has gotten coal ever. And that just doesn't check out. There's no way they were on the nice list. And then I could never wrap my brain around. You're telling me he goes across the whole world? And then, like, you know, in my little, like, 5th grade brain, I was like, what are there, like, 10,000 people in the world? That's crazy. That seems impossible. Like, it's so funny to me. But, like, what a cool, and, you know, when you're a kid, you don't question that until, you know, you start to, and then it's like you learn, you know.
Yeah.
But you don't really question that. You're just like, this is the thing. Like, this is just what happens every year.
Yeah.
It's just Bible. It just happens.
Not me, though. I questioned everything.
That's, you know,
unfortunately.
A healthy skepticism is good.
Yeah. I've been skeptical since like the day I was born. Drove my parents crazy.
And that's why I don't know, Haylie. Santa shops at Target.
Exactly.
Maybe
don't know.
just
pick a different wrapping paper, though. I mean, just pick a plain color or something with snowmen. Don't pick Spice Girls for you and Santa.
Just get another roll.
If you know your child is skeptical,
just get another roll.
Put a little more effort into it. Because also we would not, would you set out cookies for Christmas for Santa? Okay.
Yes.
We would set out an unwrapped Nutty Bar, a Nutty Buddy.
I'm all about keeping it simple.
And then it would just be put back in the box.
That's hilarious.
So, you know, there's that. And then one year my dad, I think they were trying to like really, really get me to like believe and be a part of it, because I just like wasn't. And so my dad dressed up as Santa. This is like on one of our home videos.
And you're like,
and literally he walks into the room and goes, oh, oh, oh. And I run and jump into his arms and go, Dad!
That's hilarious.
And they were like, dang it. They were like, why didn't we have literally anyone else dress up again? And my parents were still together, so it was before I was 5.
Yeah. So you were with it. You were like, okay.
So
Santa.
They were just like, well, this is a bummer.
Way to ruin it, Haylie.
So
I genuinely cannot wait, though, like to have kids and to try to make it magical for them.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes Christmas so special, too, is it's the magic of it all.
Yes. It's just so fun.
It is. The elf on the shelf, like, that's become a very fun thing.
Yes.
And then, like, seeing people, take powdered sugar and leave, like, footprints.
Yes.
And that's just really cute and really fun.
It is. Something that, like, a tradition that I really look back on as like super magical is at my elementary school, we would always go down to the library and they had like a whole train village set up and our librarian would read us.
Was the night before Christmas?
No, the one with the train and the bells.
Oh, Polar Express?
Polar Express. Thank you.
What a film.
They would read the book. So I've never been a big fan of the film because I always was very into the book. But
Sorry to hear that you hate Tom Hanks.
She would read the book to us and then give everybody a bell because in it, they can still hear the bell, then you still believe. And like when you're an adult, you don't. And so all day, I'm talking hundreds of kids in the school had these bells and rang them all day long because the teachers couldn't hear because they couldn't believe. They never once said a word. They pretended all day that they couldn't hear those bells.
That's sweet.
And it's so sweet.
That is really sweet.
And I look back and I'm like, what like an amazing gift to give children.
That is true.
When I'm sure they were all like popping Excedrin every 30 seconds,
just like, this is nuts.
They were probably like, this is the worst day.
We can hold it together.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure they all went home and were like, I need an entire bottle of wine.
Yes.
I don't want to see these kids again for a month.
Absolutely. Yes.
But like, what a wonderful gift to give children.
That truly is.
It's so sweet.
And you can honestly say that you have everything you need if you just believe. That is from the Polar Express. It's Josh Groban. It's a great song.
It is. My only thing, my thing about the movie is the animation creeps me out a little.
No, it's weird.
I just don't like that. And the book is, sure. I just remember the magical feeling when I was little. And so I'm like, oh, the movie creeps me out a little. So I just don't participate in that.
But it is crazy in the movie when, he finds the bell and he can still hear it. It's like, oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
I just love it. It makes me emotional. I love it. But yeah, I think what I love so much about it is like all the traditions and things like that.
Yes. And I definitely think in an awful world, we would have holidays that had like such big traditions like that.
I agree.
I think that they're just fun.
They are.
And again, it comes with a sweet treat. So I think we would be in.
Absolutely.
Now, do I think that it would be like, oh, it's Jesus's birthday, so let's put candles on a tree? No,
we're not putting candles on a tree. That's a fire hazard.
Yes. I think we would be like,
come up with lights
cake like everybody else.
Yeah. It's I don't. No, I don't.
No.
Which is so sad because I love Christmas trees. Like I just live for that.
Yes.
I live for it.
Yes.
I
think maybe we could have a Christmas tree. There just wouldn't be lights on it. And I know that's the thing that you love is the twinkle lights and you want the warm glow and things like that.
I want the warm lights, not the LED white lights.
Maybe we would have candles, not on the tree.
Okay.
But just like around
it.
Around.
I can settle for that.
And then we would just have like ribbons and ornaments on the tree. I think that works.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Haylie, this conversation is getting me so psyched.
I know.
For
and
Christmas.
It's so close.
I know.
And then we're going to make Christmas cookies. You and I are going to decorate our cubicles at work.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we live for it. We absolutely live for it.
Except, so last year I bought these Christmas lights. And I think they're very cute. I got them at the Target. They're red, white, and green. I love them.
They're beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Yes. But poor Libby, she comes into my cubicle while I'm hanging them up and she's like, oh my God, is everything shaking to you? And I'm like, no. And then she trips and falls over my trash can.
I don't know what happened with these.
I don't know. They're just LED lights.
I am telling you, Haylie, that I think my eyes are faster than the LED lights because I can see the light bouncing back and forth. I literally asked you, is that not moving for you?
And I was like, nope.
Blinking? And then I was like, well, this isn't good. And then I tripped over the trash can. It was a whole thing. It was very slapstick comedy.
Yes.
Unintentionally, because that's really not my brand of comedy.
No, but it was very funny, but I felt
we
terrible.
were literally just talking about it the other day. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So maybe the lights would really just be a hazard for the Libbies.
Yeah.
In an awful world. But I do love them.
Yeah, they
I
are
love to
beautiful.
look at
They're
them.
so fun.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are fun.
They are fun. And I love like just ornaments.
I know.
You
And
know,
everything's
they're so
just like sparkly.
detailed. And we already decided that like we would have glass blowing.
Oh, absolutely. So we'd have ornaments.
So we would have ornaments.
No problem.
Yeah. Easy
and
peasy.
a star on the top. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now, how do you feel about angels on a tree? Like for the top instead of a star?
I'm not super into that.
Okay.
My grandparents used to do that like a long time ago.
Mhm.
It strikes me probably just because this is like when I can remember it. It strikes me as very like late 90s.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was just kind of like, like I like a star on the top of the tree.
Yeah. I always grew up with an angel on top of the tree. But then we do a star, and I like that better.
Yeah,
but
I like so what I do now is a star with a bow
cute.
tied around it.
Cute.
Yeah, just give it a little extra oomph.
Oomph.
You know?
Yeah,
Oomph.
I like that.
Yeah. So this is my first year like in a house with my boyfriend, and I don't even think he's prepared. Like Christmas is going to throw up on that place.
Yeah,
and I am psyched. I have never had a banister to decorate for Christmas, and I am ready for it.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
I was just doing research on how much it would cost to have someone hang lights the other day. I mean, I am ready. I am ready. And as of the time you're listening to this, it's closer to Christmas. In a reasonable way. We're unreasonably far, maybe, for me to be thinking about how I'm going to decorate the banister. But you know what? It's my life, and I do what I want.
That's right. I mean, you got to prep. Because you need to prep ahead of time, so that way when Christmas stuff comes out in stores, you know what you're buying.
That's true.
Then you have to have time to buy it and put it up.
Yes.
You know, so
and enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. Now, my big thing for the holidays or for Christmas in general is cookie bake. That
Absolutely.
is what I prep for, and I have already prepped for it this year.
And I love that for you.
I have already made a list of ingredients. I am buying them slowly one at a time because when I spent last year, I think I dropped $200 on cookie ingredients.
I believe that.
And then was all in one go and was like, yikes.
That's a lot of money.
I was like, that hurt my feelings.
Yes.
So this year, I'm splitting it up into my normal groceries. That way,
That's
it
perfect.
softens the blow.
It does. It definitely does.
But I bought decorations for this year. I'm excited.
You're all over it already.
So, you know, I would like to think that in an awful world, we would have cookies.
Oh, absolutely we would. Are you kidding?
Yeah, which we would do a food series, I feel like,
Yes,
later.
yes. We're
so
eventually going to do that, I think.
Yeah, but so I'll leave it there. But I would like to think that most holidays would have some sort of baking element to them as well.
I hope so, because this world, Haylie makes really, really good banana bread, and she puts it in fun themed shapes, and I live for that.
I do. Skulls are coming soon.
Skulls are coming. Don't you also have like dancing skeletons?
I do, but then they're like so thin, and they just are not as like fun to
just
eat.
It's not as ideal.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I'm still here for it.
Yeah.
I still love it. I love it. Well, anything else to say about holidays or Christmas in general?
I don't think so. I think that we would have them. I think that the starts of them would all be so different. I think that our holidays would get to a less scary start.
I agree completely.
A lot of them have really odd starts.
Yeah.
That I just don't
origins.
appreciate.
No, I don't think we would do that. I think we just go like, what if we had a holiday for this? And we'd be like, consensus? Yes? Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then we'd do it.
We'd be like, we love to celebrate and we love not being at work.
Absolutely.
And we love having cookies.
Absolutely. And then we just do it.
Yeah.
And it would be done.
Yeah. I think it would just be great.
So mark your calendars.
Right.
Because that's when we're doing it, is what we'd say to all the other Haylies and Libbies. Well, thank you for joining us on this season.
Yes, it's been really fun.
It has been really fun. It's been a super wild ride.
Yeah.
And exciting. Lots of fun topics. And I know we really appreciate all of you tuning in and, you know, following us and liking us on things and letting our little fun side project turn into something really cool. So
yeah, and we have lots of super exciting things coming for next season. So please don't forget us over the holidays.
Yes, please. So much coming. January 17th.
Yes.
2025.
That's right.
We will be back and better than ever.
That's right.
And until then, hope you all have the happiest of holidays, whichever holidays you celebrate.
Yes.
Kwanzaa, Hanukkah,
Christmas,
Diwali, whatever you celebrate. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you love it, and we'll see you in January.
Yeah.